Hello everyone, welcome. My name is vAaron, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about the ancient dragons because I was asked the question, why am I struggling, basically. So someone asked me, why is he struggling in the ancient dragons? Looked at his item level, he's 27k, and that might be one of the reasons. So, the Ancient Dragons are not made to be easy. Just because they've been put at 22k, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to complete them at 27k, because you are scaled up to about 51k. Just like me personally, I'm scaled down to 51k. However, at 27k, you haven't got your damage companions, you haven't got your insignias, you haven't got your mounts, you haven't got any of your damage gear. You haven't got your stats, you haven't got your weapons, you've got absolutely nothing. And this is something that Cryptic really didn't think about. So, I want to talk about how you guys can have much smoother runs. First things first is recognize the dragon that you hate. What I mean by that, some people hate the white dragon, so they will avoid that white dragon. Some people hate the red dragon, so they will avoid that red dragon. Me personally, I hate the black dragon. I will never do that black dragon ever again, so I will avoid him. If you want to know how to avoid certain dragons, the link will be in the description. Go check that video out. But anyway, I want to go over just some things that you're gonna want to try and get in order to make your dragon run smoother. So first of all, it's the weapon sets. So if we look on character sheet here, we've got Lionheart right now because I'm running solo. I've just done Rough Valley. Switch these out. Just get the old Mastercraft. You need to have a 5-person group of people running all Mastercraft, because if we look at the set bonus, you and nearby allies are granted the following. So the effect can stack up to 5 times, which means you've got 5 members using these weapons in your group. So you're going to go from 2% outgoing damage to 10%. You're going to go from 2% outgoing healer to 10%. And you're going to go -2 incoming damage to -10, which means a 10% damage reduction. That is going to make the runs so much smoother for you guys. Sadly, in terms of hit points and damage, you are scaled, so that you can't really affect that in any way whatsoever. However, there are more things that we can do. So artifacts. As you can see, I've got, this is a pretty selfish one. It gives me AP gain and damage and all that good stuff. However, you're going to want buff, debuff artifacts. Now what that means is you can use a Frozen, or you can use a Mythlar, you can use the Heart of the Black Dragon, you can use the Lantern of Revelations, you can use the Charm of the Serpent. Just make sure each person in your group has a buff, debuff artifact. This will either make sure you take less damage, or it'll make sure that the dragon takes more damage. So buff, debuff artifacts are definitely the way. Make sure you communicate with your group. Now, next, we are going to look at companions. So if we go over to companions here, there is one companion that you need. Now, if I go on my dragon build, if you want to know my dragon build, I will link that down below in the description as well. But as you can see, we've took off the Stoldorf and we have put on the Dragon Hunter. Yes, we are missing out on a 7.5 combat advantage. However, we get more damage in Dragon Hunts from the Dragon Hunter than we do with the Stoldorf, and that is why I've switched them out. So we've got the Dragon Hunter, which is 100% must have. It's not that expensive. And then we've got a Minsk for more damage because the dragons are really strong. We've got the Batiri because the dragons are bosses. We've got the Neverwinter Knight because it's outgoing damage. And then we've got the Golden Cat for the 7.5 combat advantage. I understand that not everyone can afford these, so just use what you've got. Just make sure you are putting that Dragon Hunter on. Now, what I forgot to go over was the overload. So you're going to want a Dragon Ward. Afflict any enemy type, any dragon type enemy that strikes you with a 10% damage reduction. And then we've got Dragon Slayer. You're damaging at will, encountering daily powers, dealing additional 10% damage against dragon type enemies. So these two you get from the stronghold, and you've got the strong. When you port in, right in front of you is the stronghold hall. To the right of that stronghold hall, there's a little merchant behind a counter. Talk to him, and he's got all these overloads for you. So, what is next? Mounts. Again, I would say have one big DPS. If you've got one big DPS, using the Toad. And then I would say each person after that use a buff debuff. The reason is the Ancients are not a competition. It's not who can do the most DPS. You are in scale content, so it doesn't matter. However, you can put the Bat Swarm on. You can put the Pegasus on. You could put what else is there? We got the Bat Swarm. We got the Pegasus. Actually, the Pegasus stack, so you could have a legendary Pegasus, you could have a mythic Pegasus, all in one group, and you could have a legendary T-Rex and the King of Spines, all in one group as well. Because the mythics and the legendaries do stack, they are different. They are different combat powers essentially. But any debuff, the Bat Swarm is still one of the best around, even though it's not used so much. A lot of people do use the Toad. But I would say have your hardest DPS using the Toad, and I would say have the rest of them, the rest of the players, using a buff, debuff type of mount power. But using all these, you want to use them all at the same time. So if you can, try to call artifacts. When you call artifacts, then you're going to pop your artifact into your rotation. You're also going to pop your mount into your rotation, and you should see just chunks coming off the dragon, and it should make for a smoother run. So, all in all, if we look back, we need Mastercraft weapons, we need the overloads, we need buff, debuff, artifacts, we need at the very least, the Dragon Hunter, and try to get yourself a Batiri. They are really awesome, and you can use them on single target in normal content as well. And then we have your mounts, your buff debuff mounts. But as you can see, guys, that is all the advice I can give on how to make dragons a bit easier. They're not designed to be easy, so they're not going to be perfect, but that is some ways you can have maybe a little bit of a smoother run. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. You want to make your way back to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.